Race fans, before the season started, we asked a bunch of Verizon IndyCar Series drivers who the most talented driver was that they've had the pleasure to race against.
That's right, JJ. We had many different answers, but one answer seemed to stand out amongst the rest. Let's cut to it.
I have to choose one? Yeah. Most talented drivers, I think, that I've had the pleasure of racing against / meeting. Lewis Hamilton, Jimmy Johnson, Scott Dixon.
Most talented driver? Ooh, that's difficult to say one. Antonio Felix da Costa, I think he's a great driver. Scott Dixon is a great driver. Both my teammates, Simon Pagenaud, Will Power, great drivers. There's a lot. I mean, there's no way you could name just one. There's a lot of guys that I think have been very good.
Whew, that's a hard one. I think Scott Dixon, what he's been able to accomplish in an era that is so competitive, you know, when there's not massive differences between teams and cars, I think that has to really go into considering what he's accomplished and how that compares to the guys that have accomplished what they have in eras prior to that.
I would have to go with Montoya, but I think as far as adaptability, I think it's Scott Dixon. You know, I think he's one of the best at carrying a car that's not perfect.
Oh, I think Scott Dixon is probably the best I've been around.
I think the one guy that you looked at to now that you want to beat is probably like Scott Dixon, for sure.
Wow. How about for yourself? That is very humbling. For me, there's many. It's really hard to single out one. I think, you know, as far as teammates and runs that we had, probably Dario. You know, I think, but I've been very fortunate with, you know, Dan Weldon, you know, Dario, TK. There's a big mix there, and you know, always admired Elio and what he's been able to accomplish. You know, same with Will, Joseph, new reigning champion. So man, there's a long list. There's not one.
Wow, how fitting is that? Congratulations to Scott Dixon on winning your 5th IndyCar Series Championship.
Race fans, be sure to renew your Pocono Raceway tickets for 2019 so you don't miss a second of the action when the IndyCar Series comes back here for the 2019 ABC Supply 500.
We'll see you next time.